was in business for over 20 years before I started to take dance lessons. And it was pretty quickly, as I entered that world, that I realized the similarities and the parallels between the two. Business and dance are connected. The rhythm, the movement, the connectivity, the communication, maturing, learning, growing, and most importantly, it's the relationship between the follower and the leader. The first time I walked into a dance studio, I was so nervous. I was scared. My palms were sweaty. I was so excited to learn something new, but I was afraid to begin. Beginning anything new is just so difficult for people. When you're going on the dance floor and you're meeting your instructor, and you walk into the dance studio, you have no idea what to expect. You don't know if you're dressed right. You don't know if you're going to be comfortable, if you're going to be awkward, if you've got any of the skills necessary, if you're going to make yourself look really stupid. Same thing when you're walking into a new job for the first time. You want to make a great impression. You don't know if am I qualified? Am I going to have the skills for this?
When I first get a hold of them, I absolutely know they're nervous, so I put on the biggest smile I possibly can and give them the warmest welcome I can. And then just go over everything and just try not to be a threat. I'm equal with them. I know that they're trying to learn.
Learning the techniques on the dance floor, just like you would in the business world, learning the skills for your job, are so fundamentally important for doing a good job. I really worked hard at listening and trying to learn what those skills and techniques are, because that's the foundation for becoming better.
I give them the 4 steps, which is the whole basis to dancing. Movement and just walking, really, just exaggeration a little bit. Then I try to work on their presentation, standing up a little bit taller. Be presentable. I usually emphasize a lot of bending of knees. Just like any sport, any athlete, dancing is a sport.
The hardest things for me were not to anticipate, not to try and direct the whole thing. There's a technique of staying low that I really had a hard time with. I kept bouncing up all the time. There's a dichotomy that happens on the dance floor. We need to stay down, but you need to pull up. You need to be really tight, but you need to stay loose. All these things were really, really tough for me to keep in my head and work through my body.
When a new student comes in and you're trying to get them to understand following, they just want to know it now. And because they want to know it now, I usually try to figure out the fastest way for them to learn.
The idea of being a follower for me was 180 degrees opposite of where I've always been. I've always gravitated towards being a leader. Making the decision to follow on the dance floor helped me in so many ways in the business world. You have to make a conscious decision to be a great follower.
One of the ways that I try to do is blindfolding them, making them dance blindly with me, so that they have a little bit more reliance on my lead. We have our 5 senses, and you take one of those senses away, the other 4 become stronger. Sense of touch and their sense of movement become a little bit more strong and developed.
There's a negative connotation about following in the business world. There's a feeling like you blindly follow, you follow like sheep, you have no will. The reality is that leaders need followers in order to lead.
Every student is different, every one of them. When a person is coming in with a little bit more statuesque and they're ready to get on the floor and we start moving around and they have that big old smile on their face, I love it. And I know that they're wanting to learn and they're progressing. Once that confidence starts building up, you have to take advantage of it as a leader and let them run with that confidence.
The first inclination I had that I could actually follow on the dance floor was when I stopped thinking so much, when my body seemed to go with the music and go with Matthew. And I wasn't scared. I trusted him, and most importantly, I started to trust me.
There has to be a little bit of respect to get them to really communicate the same language that you're trying to put out. Once you do that, their trust starts building up. Their confidence gets better as they learn.
I've really come to understand that none of us leads 100% of the time, nor do we follow 100% of the time. And that leading is a part of following, and following is important to leadership. So we need to empower our followers. We need to give them the information that they need to do their job and do it well. As a follower on the dance floor, that helped me become a better leader. That helped me understand what the people needed and how I needed to respect and value, how I needed to mentor and teach, how I needed to arm them with the information about where to go. Where's the vision? What direction are we going? What are the steps that we need to accomplish our goals together? It's been an invaluable lesson for me, both learning how to follow in the workplace and be the best I can be, as well as understanding following from the leader perspective. When I had my own company and things were moving in the direction we wanted them to move, everybody seemed to know their jobs. They were working well together. There was a fluidity that existed in the company. There was movement, there was a rhythm there that felt like a dance. And it was less effort when we all worked together.
I call it effortless effort. We're at a point where we're really connected, the trust is there, the confidence is flying. Everything that I've been asking them to do, they're doing it. Big steps, standing up tall, smiling from ear to ear, just having fun. It's like being on a cloud.
There is an elation, there is a freedom, there is a joy that I don't know I experience anywhere else. It's like we're flying. It's like we're exerting no energy, and yet it's all this energy. I can't stop smiling. I can't stop that feeling of joy.